Hey, Battle Pirates, this is Price is Wrong from Battle Vortex, and this is the BV Roundtable. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We actually, we were planning on talking about mainly the Abyss and then future events, but of course, everybody's probably aware about the time-limited campaign Drac Attack and what a cluster that turned out to be today. But anyway, so we'll probably talk about that a little bit. I think Joel is actually setting up. He hasn't done the time-limited campaign yet, Drac Attack, and it's fixed now. So he's actually going to show it what it is supposed to look like. So maybe, well, hopefully that's what's going to happen. He's going to show it what it's supposed to look. I'm probably going to keep the screen mainly on him a lot of the show. So. And the rest of us will just be along the bottom talking. We do have a lot of the same regular guys on here. I think we have a couple of open spots. I did include the link in the bottom of the description of the YouTube now. I added it there. So if anybody wants to hop on there, you can. The link is also, for the Hangout, has also been posted in the event page on our group page right here. We got bp.battlevortex.tv. We have the event, which is obviously happening now, but it's also pinned on the top of the page, and the Hangout link is inside there as well. So anyway, I guess we'll just go ahead and get right into it. Do we want to talk about Drac Attack? Is that...
My phone always rings just as we go live. I love it.
Well, anyway, I guess, do we want to talk about Abyss first, or do we want to start talking about Drac Attack?
Oh, we might as well start about Drac Attack.
Well, I know Drac Attack, it basically, for me, it started, it was midnight Kixeye time, and that was 3 a.m. for me. I wasn't going to stay up for that, but I went and did mine at noon my time, so it was already been running for 9 hours, and it was still messed up. So basically, it was screwed up to the point where you'd go in it, and like 5 minutes after the battle started, it would stop and give you the reward, and it was all Reavers. It looked like the whatever that uranium campaign was. I forget the name of it again. Let It Burn. It was Let It Burn campaign is what it looked like, and it was supposed to be Drac Attack. So I was really surprised to see no Dracs, but then of course the big surprise was that it's the campaign ended 5 seconds after it started, and then it gave you the reward. I know a lot of people actually appreciated that. They thought it was a kind gesture from Kixeye. I think one of the CMs and not Doom Rooster made a post. Didn't you tell me about that, White Star? That I think it was Skeetor made a post just letting us know that it was a screw up, not intentional, and
if you keep on doing it, it could have been bannable. That's
yeah, it could have been bannable because it was a potential intentional exploit by completing the campaign, knowing that it was screwed up. But I think had they gone through with that, though, they would have. They probably about 75% of the community probably did that campaign already because that news spread like wildfire, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
I had like 20 PMs this morning in game and on Facebook saying, "Hey, I'm like, well, 9 hours. Certainly they've had to have fixed it by now."
But they didn't.
But they didn't.
I got up at 6:30 Eastern to go to work, and I always check my base before I go in. But before I could even get to my base, I had PMs, and it was all over the place. And it ended up taking me about 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Everybody on here get it done?
Yeah. I got it done at 5:30 this morning.
So I think Joel is probably like the only one on the panel that hasn't done it, right?
He's got it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and I'll highlight him.
I did say in the comms, I didn't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I had mine done inside the first hour of it being up because Australian time it starts at about 6 in the evening for us.
See, Joel has got he's got the correct campaign. It actually is Drac Hall's in there.
Yeah. So you got Frosty, Venus, Mercury.
I can't see it.
Yeah, you guys on the panel now, I can highlight them for YouTube so the YouTube viewers can see, but for you guys, you'd actually have to click on Joel's square down there. He'll have a white outline around his his thumbnail.
That's
for
a
you
lot.
when you have them selected.
That looks rough.
That
This is only the first wave.
So this is the very first campaign, first wave?
Yep.
No.
And to let you know, there was also Strike Cruiser X's down here that once you go in, they instantly start going after you.
Predator
And
subs,
to
man. Check
enemy
this
subs.
dude out. He's a revolutionary there.
He does like to save some coin. I could tell you that much about Joel.
Yeah. Well, I think he challenges himself to make sure he has fun, and I think he does really good at that. It's definitely one of the things I admire about Joel. Is he knows how to get on there and make it fun. But so wow. I guess we'll probably just kind of keep this on, Joel, and maybe we can start talking about Abyss. Y'all can see
thanks.
what. Yeah, you're a star, Joel.
You're the star of the evening, VIP style.
Yeah. All right. So I know on Thursday night's show we really didn't cover Abyss too much. I mean, I guess. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, got lucky.
No, so not.
Wait until the thermals get there.
Yeah. Well, he can outrange those thermals. I mean, what kind of torpedoes you got on those Predators? Are those?
Bees.
Havoc 4, maybe?
Yeah, it's
Havoc 4.
The only one that'll catch you out's the Frosty.
Yeah, the Frosty will get you. Wow, bringing back the Predators, man. The Predators look different than I remember.
Yeah, small. Remember the Stalkers? The big slim ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they did go high res with the graphics, I think, since I had Predators, so. Because I remember they did go through that with a bunch of the Forsaken hulls, like the Predator was one, Stalker Sub was one, the Floating Fortress I think was another, and Levi's.
Yeah.
They went with higher res graphics on a bunch of hulls. But anyway, I guess Abyss. Just for starting off, I know initially for me it was really sucking. I was really excited about Abyss because I was just really attracted to the Gore Saber stats and the rocket stats that came with the Gore Saber.
Yeah.
And also the fact that they were putting a Phantom Nighthawk back out. You know, I was really excited about that, and the cryo depth charge. And so it was a given for me. I knew exactly what I was going for. But the first thing I did, I probably shouldn't have done this. Maybe next month, if they repeat the same event type, I'll remember my mistakes this time. And what I did was first thing I did was I tried an 85, and I realized I still can't do them. And
Wow.
and the reason why I couldn't do them is because it seemed like they actually increased the armor points on the turrets, the defense platforms. I don't know if anybody else recognized that or if it was just me.
I noticed that straight away. I even used my Crusaders in an 85, and it was even with my Crusaders, it were taking 2 to 3 volleys to kill a turret.
Yeah.
And fair enough, I could kill a level 85 just with less than half health. So I'd have just above half health on it. So if I went and did another 85, I'd die because my Froster as a lead ship was nearly dead. That had the most red on it, so I couldn't do 2 in a row. So it cost me more to do an 85 than it did to do a siege campaign. So
Wow.
I ended up giving up doing the 85s and just concentrated on the siege campaign. It cost me less coins. 500k points you got for doing an 85, where in the siege you get 3.9 million points. Big difference.
Yeah, but I think the big thing with the 85s, I mean, I know for the achievement hunters there was something there, right? Because there was the badge and all that stuff, but you also got to contribute towards the sector point bar.
Yeah.
That one was beautiful. Sorry.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody else getting ready to talk. My bad.
But you've got to put, if you've got on a certain budget, you've got to keep to that budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the siege campaign really hard. I've lost a Crusader fleet, I've lost a Kodiak fleet, and yeah, I didn't really like it at all. And I was going to quit until I found my the elite. I started doing elites for between 8 and 11 coins, and that got my enthusiasm back up.
I had really good luck doing the elites as well.
Anybody else?
I find that for the past few raids, the siege campaign has just been getting super buffed in the difficulty, and they've just become increasingly more and more difficult to do, even though they're supposed to be one of the easier campaigns. Like back when they first introduced Siege and Elites, the Siege was actually probably 25% of the difficulty of the Elites.
Yeah.
And now they're about like 250% the difficulty of the Elites. Like, you go in, the first one, you lose a fleet, so then you come back and then you finish it off, and then you're losing at least one fleet in each of the sections of the siege, where you can go into the elite and you can pick it off for like 2 fleets, and you get more points for doing the elite as well.
Yep.
I mean, isn't that kind of the way it is every raid, though? Like, when it first starts out, everybody's happy, and then each progression, people always start complaining about that middle one, that it's getting harder and harder and closer to the elite. Isn't I mean, that's kind of par for the course.
It's not really that it's getting harder to the elite. It's just I thought I've got a Crusader fleet. I can surely do an elite campaign with one fleet. That was my thinking when I pressed the button.
Sorry.
And straight away it killed me, you know. And
Yeah,
I was really peeved.
Toxic. The trouble with using Crusaders on the siege campaign was you're hitting ships, and them Reaver ships are fast, so you're always missing. I went in and used my warbirds first to kill all the fleets. Then on the platforms, I used my Crusaders.
Yeah, see, I stopped. I did the first 2 of the siege, and then I stopped it. I just said no. I'm not spending. By that time, I'd spent almost 50 coins on the first 2, and I said, no, bugger that.
Well, I used my Wrath and 2 Mastodons, or Frosty and 2 Mastodons.
Yeah, I went straight to the elite. I've seen a video of some guy posted, and I remembered back that you can, if you have R10 Hellstrikes, you just drive 2 Hellstrikes through the middle of the base, you kill the base, then you come back in with the Harlocks with a Grim lead, and you kill the ships on the outside. And the whole thing cost me between 8 and 11 coins.
Did you have the Grease Monkey?
Yes, I did have a Grease Monkey.
You need to note that so people don't get confused.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took me 2 goes of an hour and a half, and I had my points.
Yeah, I'm pretty quick myself.
Well, I know I actually was really fortunate. What turned the event around for me, obviously, I started doing the campaigns, and once I had some success, it kind of helped me out a little bit. You know, I actually didn't do any of the platforms the first day. It's because I wasn't satisfied that I was contributing enough towards sector points. So the first day, you know, I didn't do any of the reverse assault platforms. I did them the second day, though, when they respawned. And that's when I started doing them. And then I only did enough of the platforms really just to fill my uranium up. And then once my uranium was about full and I've spent what I could spend without coining time, you know, then I stopped. I quit hitting platforms because really, the first 3 platforms that I hit, the first 2 I failed in. I was in there with 3 other people and we still failed. But in the third one, somebody actually jumped in and took my spot. We were just about had it done, and I died. And I had my other fleet sitting outside waiting to go in, and somebody was waiting for my spot. I mean, and they jumped in there and took it. So I basically ended up getting nothing for that one too. And that ticked me off.
I tell you what I didn't like about them level 90 platforms as well. You notice you had to take out the black OPs to get the shrouds off.
Yeah.
Now, when did Kixeye decide to change that from taking it off a ship? I didn't see no tactical module on there, on them OPs. So how come They've changed it all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, and the first two that I failed in, see, the guys that I was in, they just assumed that, okay, I'm prices wrong. Okay, I'm with Battle Vortex. I talk to Kixeye all the time, so I know how to do everything already. And nobody was telling me that. And I was like, and you guys just already cleaned out the whole sector one time, and nobody is telling me, anything. I actually had to just stop and just watch people do them before I realized, okay, so I understood what exactly had to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really frustrating in the beginning, and I need to say it took me off, and I took a break. So.
Yeah.
But I did end up getting a lot of help. I didn't claim. I got all four. I ended up claiming all four of the my goal prizes that I wanted. I got the Gore Saber, the rocket, the Phantom Nighthawk. So now I got two. I'm building my second one now, and I got the cryonic depth charge. I got that too, and then I got most of the tokens. I didn't get them all, but I was really fortunate because I had a lot of people that were wanting to help me out, and the elite campaigns were amazingly fast way to get points. It took a bit of work, but I think it was still faster than doing a siege campaign.
Oh, it's much faster.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot faster.
Yeah, I'd use my subs on the Hulks, and then somebody else would take out the base. I just didn't have the fleets to take the base out. It just seemed like you wanted to have like high splash type weapons in there, and I didn't have that.
The Crusader fleet will take it out if you went straight in the middle.
Yeah, and I didn't have Crusaders yet. And I do have Crusaders now, but there's no armor on them.
Okay.
And but you know what? Will say one thing about my build. I'm pretty happy about it because I even with no armor on my Crusaders, I still took like 262 dredges yesterday.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, without going back for repair, so it was pretty cool.
265s?
Excuse me?
You said 62 and you mean 65s.
No, I said 62 because I meant 62. Thanks for correcting me. But the dredges don't come in 60. Yeah, dredges don't come in 65s. No. But anyway, what else was I going to say? Yeah, the siege campaign, like I said, it was a bit of work. It took a little bit of time. So you could probably knock one of those siege campaigns out in about 30 minutes. Yeah. If you worked at it really, fairly quick. But
I was actually able to get all the points I needed for the Gore Saber and the rockets in like an hour and a half doing elites, so that went pretty quick. And then I just kind of spent time off and on opening 85s until the platforms opened up. And I don't know about anybody else, but I myself really enjoyed the 90s this time because if you had two good players and both had like Crusaders or SCXs, you could actually two-man them.
Did you see the solo videos? I've seen 2 different videos of people soloing the 90s.
Oh, that was weird.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
I saw those. It was an Aegis, a Frost. No, it was an Aegis, an Omega. There was a Monarch, an Aegis, a Omega Behemoth, and 2 Crusaders with Arbalists. I do believe.
Yep.
And I think the same guy made a video of doing dredges as soon as the raid was over, where he swapped the Omega out for a Frostburn, and he swapped the Crusaders out for a Mastodon. And then he did dredges for like maybe 5% damage per ship.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, if you got the coin to get on here and experiment with your builds, and you're not like me, and you're guys like me that slow build everything and refits and all that, you kind of are a little bit more married to your mistakes. You know what I mean? We don't have the option of experimentation, and we have to learn from what other people are doing. We can't really try to figure it out on our own. And so yeah, I don't know if he actually published that build at all, but I would encourage him to do so.
So did everybody get a drop from these level 90 platforms then?
Not everybody.
Not everybody didn't get a Hell Star, really?
No. Did anybody
they came out more this time, though.
They were.
Hit them damn things day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and not one drop in our sector.
Did you see like that first day? There were. I know that I actually saw somebody had got 5.
5 in a row.
They dropped 5. Yeah, Proto Nemesis. Yeah, that was insane.
I think you had
I'm
KDE's home sector to get any good drops.
Yeah. Well, it just seemed like most of the drops were in the first day. I mean, you see in the first day there was a lot of people publishing pictures of their comms where that's all you saw was Proto-Nemesis drop, Proto-Nemesis drop, Proto-Nemesis drop.
Yeah.
And
I can attest to that because in my alliance, there was 3 proto drops, 2 of them to the same person.
Yeah, that happened in mine too.
How can one person get 3? I thought they did something where you only got 1 proto and that was it. You could get no more.
no, that was never the case. That's never been that way.
It's never been the case. It's just prior to them putting them in the wraps, it was equivalent to lightning striking in the same place maybe a dozen times.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the odds were really slim before, but they obviously it was dramatically increased. So
3.
well, they really are. And sorry.
I within 15 minutes, I saw in chat there was one sector who got above like 15 proto-nemesises in like just like 15 minutes.
Well, of course they're dropping the crap out of Proto-Nemesis because people will coin them and they'll still be useless.
yeah, they're useless. But
Not
people will
always.
coin them. I'm guilty. I did. I coined mine. But you know, when I coined mine, I actually because I had somebody who said they were going to do it for me. They were going to coin it for me, and I believed them. But you know, so when they didn't show up when they were supposed to show up, I went ahead. I'm like, well, they'll reimburse me. But I was wrong. Like, oh, you already coined it? All right, cool. Well, have a good day, you know, or whatever. It's pretty much what happened. So I'm like, it's like, dang.
I think the proto could be good again if you put an Aegis with it. So you've got the AO field going around it, and plus more defense on it as well. So
we could put decoys with it too to make it useful. Yeah.
I'm just wondering
but do you
whether
really
or not
need a 400% repair modifier hull that you have to use decoys and Aegis with? Could you do that with a 150% modifier hull?
Well, we're talking like 2 days with no armor, and if you put armor on it, you can get your repair bill up to 4 days with that because of the 400% repair modifier. But the Hellstar is also a 400% repair modifier, and if you load that up with armor, you can get your repair bill up to 5 days for one ship. So
painful.
That's just crazy talk.
Huh?
That's just crazy talk. That's just mad.
I know. From what I understand. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I know there's one guy that is fighting MBK, my alliance. I can't remember what sector it is. I don't know if it's beta or what, but it's not close to me. But he's apparently been coining the repairs on his Hellstar like crazy, and I mean he's like almost legendary and everything already. It's just some people just got just crazy money, man.
That's why I never did any 90s, because if I'd won the thing, I would never be able to build it.
I'm just wondering, because now they have the limited blueprints from the campaigns are able to be retrofitted. I'm wondering if they'll ever come out with a retrofit for the Proto-Nemesis.
Talk about it has been increasing lately.
I'd love to see that, but I'm biased.
Yeah, you would.
Well, I guess if you guys feel like, does anybody else on here, did they have anything to say about Abyss that they didn't get to say yet?
I was curious if anybody knew why they took away the abort feature on the Elite.
Yes, I do, actually. I do know. The reason why they did that was because basically they didn't want people going in there and just picking off a couple of targets and then aborting the campaign and then going back in. They didn't want anybody farming easy points. That's basically what it was about, was farming easy points. They just figured that wasn't in the spirit of the campaign, and the easiest way for them to keep people from being able to do that was
you sure it's not this,
take away the abort button.
Sure
well, I had the problem with that is I had a friend of mine who got hung up by the campaign's over, but it's not over bug, and
oh dear.
And he put in a ticket on Sunday, and Kix responded to him on Wednesday, which really didn't help him much.
Yeah.
No.
So his campaign, the elite campaign, was hung up for the entire rest of the raid, and then they came back and said, "Oh, we're sorry you're having performance issues. Here's 30 coin."
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Customer service.
Yeah.
So that the fact that they took out the abort button meant that his raid was over.
Well, you know, you can actually have multiple campaigns running at one time, right?
But you can't have multiple elite campaigns running at one time.
No, you can't. You're right. You can't have multiple elite
And
campaigns. You're
he
right.
had fleets to do the elite, but he didn't have fleet. He was a smaller guy. He had fleet to do the elite, but he didn't have a fleet that was wasn't going to be really grindy to do the siege.
I gotcha. I see what you're talking about now.
And he just gave up.
Joel, you don't have any other tokens, do you? Did you
Nope.
already have any other ship build tokens, or did you
Nope.
use them all?
That was it.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't going to throw away any kind of ship build tokens. You know, because there's enough in there to pretty much fill you up, and if you had any, then you'd end up throwing them away. If you had any like single hours or 2 or 3, whatever, you know, you'd end up throwing them away if you didn't use them. So, well, cool.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure.
I've got a quick question there for you, Price.
Yeah.
In the Forsake, in the weekly. Now, I had some tokens sillily in my bank, and when I did the Forsaken mission, I never got rewarded any. Should I have been rewarded any or not? Because I also collected the prizes for the first, you know.
Well, this week,
last
you mean?
years. Yes, this week.
This week, you know, we got new content. So we got the Firebat Drone 1, 2, and 3. So because there was content for you to win, the tokens didn't come into play. The only tokens only come into play when you don't have prizes available to win.
Oh, good. I just thought I was silly not to use them, and I missed out on tokens this week. That's all.
Tokens will be next week if you've got all the prizes.
Oh, good. So I
Well,
missed out.
tokens
Oh,
will
wait.
be in 2 and 3 because you still won't have caught up on 4.
I just wish that they would swap out some of the tokens from the Forsaken mission to ship build tokens or repair tokens. Because having like how many weeks in a row for building speed up tokens, and you have nothing to build anymore.
You don't have anything to build anymore?
Not for buildings, at least. No, I don't. I've been.
You've got level 5 platforms to build.
Yeah, but they're not worth speeding up
What?
because if I were to speed them up, I wouldn't have enough uranium to be able to start the next build before the actual time for the first build is done. Because it's 10 days to do, and I can't do dredges, so I have to wait for either the Forsaken mission or the Let It Burn campaign. So it would be pointless to speed up the level 5 platforms.
But it's only about 1 day, so it's not like you're finishing the whole thing off in one big jump. It's just 1 day.
Yeah. Now the level 5 platforms isn't it like 12,000 uranium,
Yes.
and you can get 25,000 uranium from the Forsaken missions each week. And I guess you use all of that on other things, or
Retrofitting the specials for my ships costs about 24,000 each time I retrofit them. So.
Also, each week you basically get to do 1 day.
Yep.
That bites.
Wow.
Yeah, that really bites.
Yeah.
But
So
that's my life as well.
Are you doing R10 or R11?
This is going from R5 to R10.
Oh, is that a hull?
No, this is for.
It is a special component.
This is for the radioactive special components to increase my radioactive defense.
All right.
Yeah, because that's 24 KA retrofit.
All right. Well, I guess was there anything else about Abyss that the folks on here wanted to talk about, or?
Only one thing. I know that we sweat customer service on here a lot, and you know they really deserve it most of the time. But during the event, I accidentally spent 270 coins rolling on road cruise because apparently my mouse moved at the last minute. And you guys know how it is when you're clicking reroll. You just click, 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 and don't really pay much attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I put a ticket in and explained to them what happened, and they actually gave me back 200 of the 270 that I screwed up on. So I would just actually like to say kudos to them for that, and thank you very much.
I'm sure they called it a one-time courtesy.
Yeah.
Probably.
And the only reason I say that is because I know people, and a lot of people that have done that exact same thing and didn't get anything for it. Maybe they just did that for you because you're a big spender. I don't think they would do that for the common player. You know what I'm saying? I don't, because I know the people I know, they said, no, I'm sorry, you know, it was your mistake, so, you know. That was pretty much the reply.
Well, I don't speak for the other guys, but I'm just saying thank you from me.
Yeah.
Hey.
It
All right.
also
It'd be
depends.
nice if they treated us all equally like they claim they do, but.
It also depends on who you actually get in customer service as well.
Yes.
Sometimes, like most of the time, I can run into some really nice people in customer service. On a rare occasion, not so nice, but
You might get the one from Jeff.
Yeah, there's a lot of very contentious people that work over there that are customer facing.
for the past over a year, I've actually had quite a good experience with Kixeye customer service. I haven't had a bad customer service rep for quite some time now.
Well, awesome. Maybe they're trying to coach them over there or something. Lord knows they probably need it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we could get some more actual game experts there, people who understand the game a little bit better. A lot of them, I think they make them all play it, but you know, none of them even come close to having the game savvy that a lot of people in the community have. You know, so it's just really hard to get good support sometimes.
Quite agree with her.
Yep.
Well, I guess going forward, I know there's people who keep talking about. It seems like every month I've got people saying, "Hey, are we going to get a new faction this month? Are we going to get a new faction this month?" And the truth is, I know there was talk about it once upon a time, and I really don't know. They don't tell me everything, and not to mention a lot of the plans that they have do get pushed back. You know, and for whatever reasons. And I'm not saying that's the case this time. We could be getting a new faction, you know, for July, and I just don't know about it, you know, so I'm not saying that's not the case, but I mean, I guess, is that something that everybody here would be looking forward to, a new faction?
Be nice, very nice, somewhat different.
As long as they're nothing like the Reavers, I'd be fine with it.
Y'all are sick of Reavers, I take it.
Yeah.
They're way too fast. They pump out way too much damage, and they're way too tanky. It's just way too
Has
hard
it been
to
like
deal
7
with.
months? It's been like 7 months that we had nothing but readers, isn't it?
We've had it's 6 months
right now.
of Reavers so far. Next
So this
month
is
will be
def-
the 7th of Reavers.
This is
Well,
definitely
here's
the
the
month
thing.
we're changing, or
Doubt it.
Yeah, you know, the only thing that I'm certain of, because I know a lot of people are curious about Hull stores, and the Hull stores only come out every 4 months, okay? The last one was April, the next one will be in August, and then in December. So that's when we have the Hull store events, or just, you know, it's every 4 months. And those are also the 6-day events. When we have the Hull stores are also 6-day events. So I know here in July it will not be a Hull store, and it will not be a 6-day event. It will be a 4-day event, so it'll be, you know, regular. Brian, I'm going to mute you, bud. I guess you're beating on your something over there. Oh, I guess he muted himself. Cool. But anyway, I know I've had somebody write me, and I thought it was a great idea. They were talking about actually having like a token event. You know, and when I say token event, I don't mean like you know, the one for the cruise or anything like that, but actually having you know, like one of these monthly events where all of the prizes, instead of handing out you know, a new content, new weapon and a ship, actually just do nothing but tokens, like the token store, but bigger.
That's a good idea.
I
And
thought it was a great
remove
idea too, man. I mean, the community I think would really jump on that.
have them remove the limit on how many tokens you can carry and how many tokens you can redeem within the event. And I see that
All
as
depends
taking
how much
off.
they're going to be as well. Like
Yeah.
the last one was a bit too expensive.
The token
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
The tokens within the last event, the only one that had like a fairly reasonable price was the 1 hour token.
Mm.
You know, when you compare like the actual value of the tokens, when I say value, I'm talking about how many points it took to claim for how much time. It was the 24-hour one that had the most value, but it wasn't by much.
No.
I'm just saying if you would have got 24 1-hour tokens, it would have cost you a lot more points than one 24-hour token. And even the 12-hour tokens, if you would have got two 12-hour tokens instead of a 24, it would have cost more points. So, I mean, you were definitely better off getting the most time you could. It was a kind of a pain in the butt to use, though, because you had to, I mean, if you tried to farm all 4 of the 24-hour tokens, you basically had to claim it,
Use it straight away.
go use it, and then
Yeah.
go back to the store again. So you kind of had to open up just a whole lot of, there was like a lot of clicks to be able to farm.
Yeah, it wasn't
But,
stackable. That was the problem. It wasn't stackable.
Yeah, you couldn't keep a whole bunch at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a pain in the butt, but
I mean,
I don't
just
know. I guess
imagine
we're always going to complain about something. I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm just like,
Yeah.
they hooked us up with some build tokens, and I'm complaining.
Talking about that, Jeff, as well, also be nice as well. When you're using your tokens, why is it you can only use one at a time? Why can't you just say there be a button in there saying, or a bar, I want to use 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on that build, and just do it in one go instead
Yeah.
of having to do it all over again.
it'd be too easy, right?
It is a
Yeah.
convenience thing, isn't it? Because, you know, I often think the same way. You know, when you go to speed something up, speed up a
Exactly.
repair, and if the repair cost, let's just say it was like 5 hours and 4 minutes. Okay, that would cost you 11 tokens, or I'm sorry, 11 gold. That would cost you 11 gold. I don't want to spend 11 gold. I want to spend 10. So if I want to spend 10, that means I have to click 5 times. I have to click the 1 hour 5 times. I would like to be able to just say, you know,
Isn't the answer to that obvious? It's because it's annoying. They're counting on you spending the extra gold.
a lot of people.
Screw it. Click it and click on 11.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably do actually.
Well, when
We'll
you're
spend the
trying
11.
to use up a legendary crew, it's worth it to spend the 1 extra gold sometimes. Depends on what crew and what the situation is. But you know, if you've got one where you've got 8 minutes left on a crew and you don't have 3 minutes to screw around clicking on an hour at a time, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you don't want the whole build? What if you want just, you want to spend 50 coins out of the 120 that you want to, use on a build or whatever on? Why do you have to click by the hour? Why can't you click it by a 10-hour block or a 5-hour block?
That's what's been going on in the wish list for the past, 2+ years, is introduce a 2-hour speed up, a 4-hour speed up, and an 8-hour speed up. But that hasn't happened yet.
And the other thing I can't understand is they give you the tokens, but they don't want you to save the tokens. So what's the difference whether you spend them now, in an hour, or tomorrow? You're still going to spend them.
Yeah.
So,
For me, what my answer to that is I spend them to make something more convenient for me. For example, it's like if I got a build that's going to be done in 18 hours, but I plan on being asleep or work or whatever, then I can, if I have 18 hours in tokens, I can go ahead and speed it up and have it ready now. Or let's just say I'm going to be available in 10 hours, but not in 18 hours. I could probably, so for me, it's like I think the tokens, I can see them being more useful as far as speeding up something to when it's more convenient for you. You know what I mean?
we've spent the money, we've spent the time on getting those tokens, so we should be able to spend the tokens when we see fit, when it benefits
Oh, yeah.
us.
I agree. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think a lot of that has to do with them trying to micromanage how we spend the money to like speed up hauls and stuff like that, as opposed to saving up like 3 months worth of 1 day tokens to build a whole ship. You know, they're trying to say, okay, well, you can take a day off here, but if you want it done quicker, you're going to have to coin the rest of it. I think that's just simply them trying to micromanage how we spend our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, anyway, is there any other ideas? What else would you like to see in future events? I mean, is there something that you think that Kixeye could do better? I think the token store was a great idea. I'm ready to get rid of the platforms, though. I mean, nothing wrong. Maybe they need to put the Hellstars in the drag bases. You know what I mean, or something like that, or put the Drax and the Hellstar and the Proto Nemesis in the drag bases or something. But I don't like the idea of having targets on the map that don't give me event points.
I think
the
they should
event.
get rid of sector points as well. I think it's no good.
Yeah, just keep the sector store open.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that are gotten really screwed by that, man, that are just in, I'm not going to say lazy sectors, but sectors that lack the potential.
Exactly.
Well, how about sectors that lack the willingness to coin? Let's call it what it is, because opening that bar is just a way to get people to coin.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate. I only missed a sector store in the middle of the three, and frankly, I didn't need anything out of that store. I had everything except for the silly skin.
You didn't get the silly skin?
No, I didn't get the silly skin. Imagine that.
I wouldn't mind having the skin, to be honest with you, but I had 2 prizes in there I already wanted. I wasn't going to sacrifice either the Phantom Nighthawk or the Cryo Depth Charge for that silly skin. I wasn't going to do that.
Speaking of silly skins, did everybody else get the offer for $9.99 US like I did?
I don't think I was buying that anything.
$13 Australian. Still wasn't going to spend it, even though it would have been cheaper than using the exchange rate on the 10 US to Australian. I still wasn't going to do it.
Nope.
Well, a lot of people talked to me about that, and there was for me, I only had the option for the Phantom Nighthawk. I'm not the Phantom Nighthawk, for the Frostburn Interceptor skin, and that was $13. There's another guy who's a friend of mine who lives in Virginia, the same as I do, and for him it was $10 for the same thing. My wife, she got the option for the V2H skin, which was significantly cheaper. So I'm just saying, some people, I mean, it just seemed like everybody I talked to had different offers. There's a lot of people, and even in the UK, I heard about 4 different prices for the Frostburn skin.
Mine was £8.30 in UK.
Yeah, and I think Liam said his was £8.05.
What?
Or £8.5 pounds, or whatever.
How did they work that out then? That's not right.
I have no clue. I think they a lot of the things that they do, they really depend on us not talking.
They just made it.
Well, they really don't know the community then.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and like I said, not everybody. I didn't get the V2H option. I only had the option for the Frostburn, but I think they might profile us or something like that, try to figure out who they think is willing to spend what. But $13 on a paint job that I'm only going to put on one ship, I think, is a little crazy. I have 2 Frostburns, and I can definitely see value in having them look different, but not for $13.
No.
It's not worth that much to me, to be honest with you. It'd be now if they threw in the 130 gold to go with it, you know what I mean? Then maybe, but they didn't do that.
No.
They think an awful lot of their different colored pixels. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Ever since implementing the skins, they seem to have spent far too much time trying to use them to extract money from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think sometimes, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes, and because I do know some good quality people at Kixeye, and they definitely seem to feel that. Well, Battle Pirates is the breadwinner. If anything happened to Battle Pirates, they as a company would be screwed. Okay, so Battle Pirates is not going anywhere. This is not the last year for Battle Pirates or anything like that. If Battle Pirates went away, so would Kixeye. Okay, but definitely seem to feel that they can't do too much as far as dropping prices and all that because it affects their bottom line, which they need that to keep the lights on. I mean, that's basically what they're saying it comes down to is keeping the lights on. So I kind of wonder if like the idea of them charging so much for paint jobs is supposed to help supplement other parts of the game so that they can reduce costs for other parts of the game. It's either that or maybe they're just trying to look for fresh income. I don't know. Maybe they are being greedy. I have no idea, but
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Jeff, but
yeah.
if you think about it, 2 years ago it was cheaper. So I was they making more money back then, or the same money back then as they are now? Obviously, they're making more money now. So I don't get what you're trying to say.
Well, I don't know that they're. I don't know if they are making more money now. I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know what money they made 2 years ago. I don't know what they make now. So, and I don't know. Maybe you have some kind of insight that I don't have. I don't know if you're just guessing,
No,
or what. You know, I don't know where you're pulling your numbers from that you think that they're making more money now than they were 2 years ago. But I can't really debate that.
no,
I'm just not equipped.
you based it on saying that they had a low income they got to make every month or whatever to keep the electric going. Yeah, but if you go back 2 years ago, they had that same thing then to make that going. So why was it cheaper back then and it's more expensive now?
Well, I know they spent a lot of money on failed projects last year.
Yeah.
You know, I know they spent a crap ton of money on failed projects last year, and you know, I mean that's definitely poor Kixeye, but I just don't understand how that's got to be everybody else's fault. I mean, they're definitely relying on battle pirates to pull them out of well, to save them. I don't know, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
But I think they're leaning on battle pirates so hard that I think it's probably going to end up biting them.
Yeah.
Well,
It's going to get to a point where everybody is going to get fed up with it.
Yeah, I know. Even the heavy coiners I know, a lot of them are just sick of how much the game. There's very few big coiners I know that don't complain about how much things cost.
Well, when I log into Kixeye in the Kixeye site, on the left on the top I get how many users are online currently online. Now I know that this doesn't include Facebook or anything like that, but about a year and a half ago, that number used to be consistently over 100,000. And
that's for all the games, though, Toxic.
Yeah,
that's all the games. Yeah,
I realize that, but that number used to be consistently above 100,000, and now it scratches between 50 and 80. So either these players all gone play at Facebook, and not on the Kixeye side, or they've lost a lot of people.
Yeah, and you got to remember there's other platforms too. It's not just Facebook and Kixeye.com. They also have ArmorGames.com and Congregate.com. So they have multiple platforms for Battle Pirates.
Yeah, I realize all that, but I'm just saying that the number has significantly dropped that used to log in and that are logging in now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Kixeye has the capacity to know those numbers, but they don't. I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, it's really their business is really none of our business, right? I mean, we're I know we're supposed to be just gamers. Now granted, I don't feel like we're treated like gamers anymore. You know what I mean? It used to be. I know in that one promo ad that Will Harbin made back in the day for the employee promo ad. And it was like, we're a company of gamers that make games for gamers, or something like that. And I don't feel that's the case anymore because there's a lot of gamers they drive away.
I just don't understand why they put Battle Pirates onto Armor Games and Congregate and stuff like that. Because I started playing Kixeye games not on Battle Pirates. I started with I think it was Backyard Monsters, and I started playing that on Congregate. And then
it was Casual Collective back then.
And then Kixeye kind of went, we're shutting it down on Congregate, and they gave I basically got 2 days advance notice from them shutting it down on Congregate. So knowing that it was going to be shut down, and then I could either swap over to Kixeye or just stop playing the game. And so
I don't think you can play Backyard Monsters even on Kixeye. I think that's the only place it's available now is Facebook, but it's not supported. They even had the Backyard Monsters Unleashed that came out on the iOS, and they quit supporting that too. It's gone too.
I mean, there's lots of people here. I mean, you look like yourself, Price, like Liam, that have got a lot of knowledge and insight about the game. And I reckon if they would say, not that it's going to happen, but if they would say, we want to, get some of your experience into our company and actively listen to what you and other people would have to say that are actively playing the game, the company could go places. It could, it could really sort of explode. If you know what I mean. It could go way better because obviously the people there don't understand. I mean, they have to play a game that because they work there or whatnot, and having to do something because you have to do it, not because you want to do it, doesn't really work.
They don't have any passion. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They don't have passion for the game, and a lot of them, like I said, are very contemptuous of the community too, because the community is quite abusive. If anybody spends any time on the forums, you can see how that the community is kind of abusive. So a lot of the people at Kixeye are pretty contemptuous. They're, there's not many of them that are happy to deal with the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to say with that. I mean, obviously, I don't know how to tell the community to be nice.
you could never do that because there will always be that person there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they should maybe take a plunge and employ someone from the game. Say, look, we want to offer you, a 6-month contract or a year's contract, or we'll give you a job. We reckon you're the person who can, sort of help us out and get us back on the straight line, on the straight and narrow, and so have our customers be happy. We'll be happy, and you'll be happy because you get paid by us, and you get to play the game.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I think maybe a year ago that might have been a great idea, but the fact that they've gotten themselves to the point to where they're too scared to make any drastic changes to the game. They're too fearful right now, and they don't want to take any kind of major steps that, even though we view it as potentially saving the game, they don't see it that way. It's because it's too big a risk. They see it as a unnecessary risk.
Yeah, it's a shame that.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. But open mic. Anybody else got anything else they want to talk about?
Well, I found a little Q&A that Bloodraven's done on the forums about the Firebat drones, and there's a very interesting little piece of information in here. Note, the last level of the drone module has 2 throwers equipped on the drones.
Oh, cool.
Well then.
That's like double. That's like double damage then, I would think.
Yeah. And I was lucky enough to get it the top module, so I'm going to be refitting my ARB with Piranha drones from my base guard for Firebat drones, because that's gonna hurt.
I got Permacrete, man, and I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if anybody watched this Thursday show or what you thought about my advice. If you thought it was good advice or bad advice, but I figure any armor you got on your buildings or turrets now, get rid of it and put Permacrete on. That's my advice, but that's what I'm planning on doing.
I'm putting 2 onto my OP at the moment.
Awesome. Yeah, you can get your outpost up to about almost 150,000 armor points now with Permacrete.
Yeah, it will be a beast to have to kill.
Second wave.
That, and when it's maximum fortification, you get the 50% damage reduction as well.
Yeah, with the fortifications, though. You can't really have anything sitting around your turrets with the new Gore Sabers. The splash will just kill it.
Well, if they're attacking your outpost, all your turrets are probably dead already.
Outpost.
Yeah.
If not very soon.
If they're firing on your outpost and the turrets aren't all dead, you need to rethink your base plan.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy hits. I've seen Gore Saber videos on both ends of the spectrum. I've seen that were just extremely overwhelming. I've seen some of those, and then I've seen some that where I guess the Gore Sabers were overwhelmed. So I don't know. I'm sure there's probably a lot of people out there trying to hit bases and testing their build as they're adding armor. So they're probably hitting bases with low armor, because I've seen some really, Gore Sabers not get very far at all. But
Yeah.
like I said, I expect it's people testing armor and probably not having any armor, that kind of thing.
Here's some advice: don't put evade if they're coming in with a Gore Saber. That is not going to work as well.
No.
Yeah, you can't evade rockets. So rockets, that's like an area attack type of weapon.
Yeah, rockets
so
and
your
mortars are that, like that.
Yeah, evade's not going to help against rockets.
Evade's been falling off significantly the past few months as well.
Well, you always want to mix. I always say that every time we start talking about base defense. I mean, if you want to have one high evade hull, that's fine, but don't think that evade on your whole guard is what you need. Because there's multiple fleet types out there. You need to be a jack of all trades.
Yep.
Mm.
The panels help a lot as well.
Yeah.
A year or so ago, you used to be able to get away with it.
Well, with new cruisers were out, the thing. Yeah, everybody was like high evade, high evade, high evade. But that's never been ideal to have one strategy for your whole base. It's never been ideal.
Mm.
Joel, is this the third campaign now?
This is the second wave of the third.
The second wave of the third? Nice. Keep doing it, man. Joel, just so everybody knows, is a Battle Pirate Twitch streamer. And he does stream his game, and he's a lot of fun on Twitch too. That's what, Twitch TV /Joel5911. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so he's a lot of fun on there. So I definitely would recommend following him on Twitch, and you can watch him play on there. He's got some good ideas. He knows how to have fun, and he's not a high level or anything like that. He doesn't coin. I think you've got some coin, but even when he has coin, he doesn't like to spend it. But yeah, he's fun. So there's your plug, Joel.
So it's for emergency uses only?
Yeah, I don't know where he gets his coin from. I don't know if it's like allowance money or if somebody gifted it to him from his alliance. I don't know.
Alliance.
Alliance hooked you up?
Yep.
Nice.
I've gotten to the point where the only thing that I've ever going to be coining is my my dock. So
Okay.
I'll spend $10.
Mini drag base.
Yeah, it's a little drag base.
I'll take the free coin.
I need battle cruisers.
Wow.
Subs.
Yeah, Nighthawks. Alright.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you got some people soliciting you for their alliance on our YouTube chat, Joel.
I'm not looking at the YouTube chat right now.
Yeah. Just saying, if there's people, so there's doors open apparently out there. So, but yeah, he's been UBCE for a while, and his alliance seems to appreciate him already. So, but anyway, I guess maybe we.
Oh, they got mines in.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know there was cryo mines, but I didn't know that they were that close.
Oh, and subs.
How many Nighthawks are they going to have on this?
They have 2. Okay, that should.
Yeah, that's not too bad then.
Now they have none.
Alright, so.
And I see the torp towers have got thermal on them.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh crap! I didn't see that.
I think we should get them for our bases, them towers.
Yeah.
Lots of cryo launchers. Executioners.
Deadeye.
Looks like a high evade hull would definitely be handy in their high evade fleet.
Yep.
I don't know about the torp towers themselves, but I wouldn't mind having water-based turrets in my base.
All right. Well, maybe you guys think, Joel, how long do you think that's going to take you to kill? That's the last one, right, of the third campaign?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna need 2 fleets for this one.
I'm just kind of wondering if we ought to just keep the hangout going and just keep watching you.
Why not?
Keep it going. We got this far.
Yeah. Well, does anybody else on here have anything to talk about? Because I know a lot of people are thrown off by really long videos.
Well, I've got a suggestion since we've all talked about the Gore Saber and since it's all been the last hull that we've got in the raid. Why doesn't everybody put their builds up that they're thinking of doing, as in what armor to put on and why they're using that armor?
I'll show you Gore Saber builds.
That'll give Joel.
I'll show you mine right now.
When I can find my...
That'll give Joel time to play, and it'll give us time to talk about it while he's playing.
True. Very, very true.
Have you heard anything else, Nash, about whether or not have they confirmed that we're going to get the flagship Gore Saber, or is that still sort of in the wind?
Um,
I'm sorry, I called you Nash. I meant Price. I called you Nash. I meant Price. I'm sorry.
No, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything at all. I know there's been a lot of talk about the Gore Saber flagship, is because it was referenced in Doom Rooster's thread. Because the Gore Saber, they said the Gore Saber was modeled after Borbas's own flagship or something like that. So I think a lot of people are expecting a Borbosa or Borbos flagship potentially. You know, I know at one point there was talk of a skin, an additional skin, but that didn't come out during the last event, a Gore Saber skin. So, you know, that could actually mean maybe that might have actually been the Gore Saber flagship hull. I really don't know for sure, but is that torp tower shooting at you at all?
Yep, it's shooting 4 torps at once.
4
Wow.
torps.
Ouch.
I can't really see too well. It's not really very clear video, but it's at least people can see what the campaign was supposed to look like.
Can anybody see the one that I'm sharing?
Oh yeah, we were kind of watching Joel at the moment.
Right. Well, I've put one up to share, a build that I'm going to be doing. If anybody's interested.
Yeah, I see it. I see you went Olivade, and Olivade, it was what, 6 D3Es and then 1 the Reaver armor.
Yeah. Look at me. My defense.
Wow, 88%, 88 on explosive, and then 86 on missile. That's insane. 79% radioactive.
Yep.
The only thing that's going to hurt you is concussive, as long as you don't get too close to have to fight subs or.
Well, no, because I've got my ages. If you look on that build, and that's got the AOA field on it, so and thermal.
This is what I got here, guys. Already built. I got a video of hitting a base if you guys want that link too.
That's what you already have that built.
Yes, I have 3 of them.
Oh, and you went. What evade armor is that?
That's 3 or 2, and then 2, and then on one of them they have 3 on them. So you may wait for the bulkhead.
And you said you've already put up videos for that?
I already put one up here. Let me just go to my YouTube page.
That incendiary shell, why did you use incendiary shell and not high explosive 3?
Well, like I said, like you say all the time, you wait until people come out. I'm one of the guys that do that. So,
Do what?
To test. I'm one of the ones that experiment.
Well, the high explosive shells 3 compared to incendiary, I know on the Thursday show I don't see any benefit to using incendiary shells over high explosive shells 3 because that rocket adds fire.
There is zero benefit to using incendiary shells with rockets over high explosive 3 because it gives the exact same amount of splash, but high explosive shells builds a lot faster, and in the incendiary shells, the fire effect only works for mortars. It does not work for rockets.
And, the incendiary shells, doesn't that take over 2 days by itself to go on? And I think the high explosive shells 3 is less than 1 day.
It's like
18 hours.
12 hours.
18 hours,
like 2.5 days.
So yeah, there's a big difference there. So yeah, I would definitely advise against putting high explosive shells 3 on. I mean incendiary shells. I'd definitely go high explosive shells 3.
If you were to use any other splash special other than high explosive shells 3, I would go combustion system because combustion system gives the gives splash and it gives projectile speed.
Oh, nice.
Which means if you mouse over onto mine, I got my Gore Saber fleet build up price.
Yeah, see it.
And I'm going to be using this Gore Saber fleet for open water targets, and I'm going to be refitting my House Strike R10s for hitting buildings in raids.
Oh, you got like a lot of retrofits done already, man. That's pretty awesome.
No.
Oh no, that's what you're trying to get to.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, I'm almost done with the reflective coating, so I got like 6 more retrofits to do.
Do all 3 of your Gore Sabers have 4 rockets on them?
Yep. They're
awesome.
Completely identical.
That's good.
That,
I only got 3 on me. The video is up on the chat if you want to watch it.
Here's the one thing about using a combustion system over HES3 is combustion system is plus 21% on your weapon weight, and HES3 is only plus 14. So you're gonna take a pretty decent weight hit for that extra projectile speed. And it depends on what you're building, and if you have the weight, it's probably a good idea, but I chose not to do that because, well, I'm running 80% on each of mine. I can't figure out how to share the my Huggy screen. I'm running 80% on each of my resistances and 30,000 armor per Gore Saber. I don't really want to give up those numbers to get the a little bit faster speed because I'm going to be using mine mostly as a baser, and as a baser, the conventional rocket speed's good enough.
I'm not using the Gore Sabers for a baser fleet though. I'm using them for battling open water targets.
D-Man, you got some advice from the chat. Flipper, he mentioned you could possibly use add a flagship in there. I don't know if you've got enough. If you put a flagship in there, you could probably boost your stats up even more, or
like an Aegis.
I only have 3 flagships. I got the Kodiak, I got the Phantom Nighthawk, and I got 2 Frostburn interceptors.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of limited, I guess. Well, cool.
I have a naked Highlander that I'm going to run with that fleet, and that's how I get the radioactive resistance up to 80%.
But
Joel's finished.
Good job, Joel.
Congratulations, Joel.
With the actual flagship, though, it would, because this is going to take me a while to put together, the actual flagship for the Gore Saber, if it ever does come out, will probably be out already by the time I'm done the second ship. Yeah. So the actual Gore Saber flagship will be the actual flagship for the fleet.
I'm sharing yours, Vlad. So I feel weird calling you Vlad. I just want to call you Rob. But Vlad, I got your Gore Saber build up here. I see you have 3 identical Gore Sabers as well.
Yes.
And I see you went with 3 rockets per. You got 2 of the bulkheads, 1 D4R, D4M, a D5E, and 2 D5Us.
Yes.
That's the armor points is pretty killer, 30,000. And I see you went with the high explosive shells 3.
Actually, I used high explosive shells 2, but that was because I wanted to fit a 3rd rocket per Gore Saber, and I couldn't get quite the armor I wanted with the weight of the HES-3, so I backed it off a little bit. It was a compromise to get the 3rd rocket on there and still get. I was shooting to get over 30,000 armor per hull. With
Okay.
my retrofit levels, ballistic 79, explosive 79, missile 78, radioactive 79, and evades almost 50.
Yeah, it's that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I mean, me personally, I don't feel like I'm qualified to suggest any improvements because I'm looking at it and I think I'm looking at your numbers, and to me, always 70% defenses were great. You know what I mean? But my basing days was back when if you had over 10,000 armor points, man, you were good.
Mm.
But these days it's now you see where we're at, 30,000 is the goal.
Well, my primary baser now I'm at 25,000 a hull, and I don't lose too much with it. But if I'm going to spend the time in my shipyard, I want to build something appreciably better. I don't just want to. I have a fleet with 25,000 each.
Okay. Well, folks, I don't know. We are a bit over. We did get to watch Joel do most of his campaign, his Drac attack. So that's how it was intended to be for all of us. I know most of us basically got to use gunboats and finish, but he did it the right way and quite skillfully, I might add. And so anyway, again, I already gave him his plug, so if you haven't heard it, then you need to rewind. No, I'm kidding. It's twitch.tv/Joel5911. That's his Twitch stream, and definitely go follow him, and that way you'll get updates. You'll get notified when he goes live. And you can interact with him. He's a lot of fun. He plays real music. He's not like me. I like to play my royalty-free rock music on my Twitch stream. But he'll play good stuff, and you get to pick on him and joke with him and all that stuff. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody on the panel for coming. I want to thank everybody in the YouTube chat for coming, and thank everybody for contributing to the show today. And I guess we'll probably do another one of these again next Saturday. We try to get one done every Saturday except for event weekend. So that's why we didn't have one last weekend. But then I just try to stream all weekend, And anyway, I guess y'all take care. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See y'all.
Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye. Bye.